Hello, my name is Raoul Collins. I'm a corporate cab driver. I saw an advert in Trade Me, I think it was. The one brand that actually stood out that quite impressed me was corporate cabs. So I was pretty quick about it, and I think you're going to be very quick about it when you do buy a corporate cabs franchise, because they don't last that long. Yeah, it was a going concern, so that fact alone attracted me as well. Corporate cabs was not the hold-up, it was actually getting the licences, the relative licences, that kept things slow for me. It took about 2.5 months to actually get out on the road. I log in about 4:15, hoping to get that early domestic job out to the airport, which will get me out to the airport hopefully about 6 if I'm not in the first 7 or 8, and back out to back into Central, because invariably there's a lot of work in town in that central area. So I carry on with that until about 9 o'clock. And depending on how tired I am, I might go home, log off, have a kip for a couple of hours, and come back out. So yeah, it's relatively, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the lifestyle, I enjoy the job, I enjoy the camaraderie. So no, it's great, love it. Your regular self-requests who need to be picked up, taken to church every Wednesday, that type of thing, and taken home. So a lot of my life anyway has developed from when I started to the point where I actually am driven by those self-requests and what your client base requires of you. So and whatever the company gives you in between. So yeah, that's really how it works. What I've learnt in this game is that you've got that guy for about 30 minutes, he's a captive client, he's sitting in your cab, so you're working as hard as you can, to get him on the job going back out, what are you doing, do you need a lift back out, that type of stuff. And that's what's good, I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the banter too. So yeah. Invariably I'll work Monday through Saturday, so I'll structure my days according to that. Wednesday I usually find is pretty dead for me, so I only work a few hours on a Wednesday, which is today. Then I'll work a few hours on the Saturday evening, just to get that early dinner rush crowd, and maybe later on. When I originally started, I worked through until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, but you get a bit older, you get a bit more wiser. So really, no, there's not too much in the way of the worst thing. Other than dirty cars, picking up after people, but no, it's a general rule, no, it's not too bad. Best thing, doing what I like. I enjoy camaraderie with the other drivers, that's really neat, I really enjoy that. And I enjoy the cross-section of the public that you're dealing with. Invariably, it's that top-notch clientele. So you'd see people in the back of your car who have the pleasure of my company, half an hour or so, who you would not otherwise get to talk to, and no, it's good talking with them. I mean, I've had lots of people who I would not normally meet, and who I've managed to make an acquaintance with, and hopefully, if you could make sufficient impact upon them, you can actually get their return business, return work. That's what it's all about. You generate your own business, and that's the thing I like about it. In terms of earnings, you actually get out of it what you put into it. If you work hard, you do the hours, you do 14 hours a day, you will get the earnings. There's no two ways about that. Sure, it might be sitting on your backside for a lot of the time, but it doesn't mean you've got to sit in the car either. You walk around, you go get a coffee or whatever. I did my research. I was a little bit hesitant in terms of what I thought I would be earning, but it's like anything. If you invariably put the effort in, you make it work for you. One, you build up your business, and you build up your clientele base, you build up your income. Next thing is to drive down your costs, right? Well, if you can do that altogether, obviously. So if you're building a business and you're dragging your costs down, invariably you'll win in this game. There's no two ways about that. So from what I heard and what I am actually at 2 years later, it's turned out to be true. I wasn't too good at the start, but 2 years later, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay, doing pretty well. You're not going to be a multi-millionaire, But then, you know, I mean, you pay your bills, you pay your mortgage, you pay everything else. You've got to keep your wits about you, you've got to keep your eye on the road at all times. And you do get tired, you get physically tired. There's no two ways about that. One of the GMs was having to take a guy 200 metres. That really annoyed me. Well, you lazy sod. But then again, you know, it was $8. You know, it's better than a kick in the backside, isn't it? So that amused me, to think that people could be so bloody lazy. As I say to you, you know, what you put into it is what you get out of it. That's the first thing. Secondly, you've got to drive down your costs as hard and as fast as you can in order to get that, extract as much me out of it as you can. Third thing is have a very good accountant who knows what he's doing. You turn over over 100k, 6 figures, no two ways about that. How you actually play with that's the key to it. You know, it was exciting to me because at the time anyway, simply because it was different, totally different. You know, you don't have to take your staff hassles home. You don't have to look at a screen. You don't have to do this. You know, there's just so much about it that appealed. It really appealed. I love driving. Yeah, I love driving.